Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we get started here? And before AB comes, I'll just hand Del the microphone. Well, no one's going to play.
They're coming in.
Okay. Want to say then?
Yeah.
All right. We're counting. Testing one. There we go. All right, we'll get going. Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Weston. I'm the host and creator of the ModGolf podcast and YouTube channel. So I talk about all things innovation, entrepreneurship in the world of golf. I've been doing that for the last 9 years. It's my pleasure to be here with Mr. Ratcliffe. If you don't know this man, you got it. The moves mean everybody loves him here. So if you don't know this man, like he should be no introduction, but he's been a PGA of America member for more than 3 decades. He is the COO of Pinnacle Golf Properties, and since he's got nothing else to do with that free time he has, he's also the president of Courserev.ai. So he's juggling lots of balls, many planes spinning in the air, but he's a bit of a thought leader. At least he likes to profess himself as being one. So we're going to put that to the test today. So the test we're going to do here is Beat Del Flay. So on that note, you're thinking, Flay, what does that mean? How many of you here are familiar with the TV show Beat Bobby Flay? Almost everyone. So the ones of you that are not, very quickly here. So cooking show, 2 contestants face off. Whoever wins, then gets to go against the master. And that's what we're going to learn today. So the way we're going to run this, well, before I do that, I'm going to do one little thing here. Well, Del was distracted. Here was Del's birthday yesterday. So, I can actually find this. I'm going to do this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And for the next 48 minutes, I'm not going to be nice. I'm actually going to be cheering against you. I want you guys to kick his butt. I want him to lose. So that's it. I just thought I'd get a little act of kindness out there before I crush you. So there we go. Okay, so the rules. How we're going to do this today. Hopefully you can read this. I will read it for you. We're going to have 2 challengers from the audience. I'm going to come out here. Don't be shy. If you guys don't participate, this doesn't work. It's going to be a really boring 50 minutes. So we're going to bring you up to compete in the chance to beat Del Flay. And Colin, that's me. I'll read a problem we commonly face on golf courses in operations, whatever's going on there. So we've got 3, 4, 5 questions. Hopefully we'll do them all and have at least 3 or 4 or 5 hand-to-hand competitions here. Bring 2 people up. You will get 2 minutes to write on the whiteboard. So we're going low fidelity, old school here, analog. You're going to write it down with markers. Your thoughts, bullet points. And then after that, I have a timer, we'll stop, flip them around. You get a chance to present that very quickly. And then you, the audience members, will then vote by hands of who you think wins. If there's a tie-ish, we determine, I've selected handpicked 3 judges, and they are our tiebreaker judges, and they will decide the fate of who moves on. So whoever moves on that round, you go up against Mr. Del Flay. And you, seen already, you get the chance to choose the problem, the pain point, the challenge in your golf course. Maybe you've solved it already that you want to battle Del Flay against. So you got that advantage if you win the first round, and that's what we're doing here. And what's our winners win today if they beat Del Flay?
We'll steal this mic for a minute. Thanks so much for coming. By the way, I think we did this before when we did it 2 years ago, Rob. That we did this. It was a long time ago, but we kind of had a similar thing in the apron. One thing I want to point out, anybody that wins, if you win going up against me, you get one of these. Okay. Come on with you a limited edition Beat Del Flay apron. Okay. So you can probably put this thing on eBay and pay for your whole trip down here, your registration, everything like that. It will go to any lucky winner we have out here, and if we don't have any winners, they will be going on sale after that. So, we'll have them all specialized in the show here.
Can I up the richness of the ante here? Are you willing to personally sign it? Say that you kick my butt?
I will sign. If they you know, if they beat me, I will actually sign their apron for you. So I got to have black ink, so it'll show up on this right.
There we go. We'll figure all that out. Okay, before we put the first question up here, I want to know who are the first two people that want the challenge to try to beat Del Flay? Believe me, if no one, I don't see any hands, I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to shame you like this is high school peer pressure to come up and do this. So, come on, we need two competitors here to start us off and come up. We're going to have some fun.
Come on, guys, we need volunteers.
There we go. Now look how
Don't come up.
all right.
And if you're scared, just say something.
Over there, why don't you introduce yourself?
Matt Shock, I'm the general manager of the Legacy Golf Club in Outer Lake, Michigan, well, small town.
Billy McNeil, the director of operation of Northeast Golf Company for Rhode Island.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, why don't you go over to your respective easels here? I believe you got a marker here.
Write your name across your big lips.
All right. And here's the first question that you will have 2 minutes. So I'll let you guys have a look at that. You can absorb it for all of, I was going to say 30 seconds here. And then we'll get going. I'm going to set the timer clock, not to 1,000 minutes. That's okay. That upside down, that looked like 4 hours. Okay. Are you ready? So the question is, how will you decide pricing for your golf course in 2026? I'm sure already you're both doing different things. Shocked if it's identical, but this is what we're doing. So bullet points, as many as you want, and then you're going to present them. And the timer starts now. There we go.
So you're supposed to go on that.
Well, okay, I can chirp for the next one here. Even though I think you should be doing the chirp, because you're the one. Come on, here, I think you well, I'm going to give you the microphone here, so here we go.
Okay.
It's your
All right.
job.
So Matt's writing fervently here. He is he's got some good ideas here. Matt's looking good. Yeah, make sure you spell that right. His eyes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Emojis that don't count.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, this one has some graphics here. But I'm not sure I can read this, but you're getting a lot of stuff on there. So by the way, we're not grading on handwriting. So when Billy turns his around, y'all got to ignore that. He's going to explain what he's written. Okay. So most of his explanation to go. So, right. How are we doing on time?
1 minute remaining.
Wow, this is only got a full day.
Okay. There we go. Originally thought, should we have to write stuff down for 5 minutes? We thought that's way too long. I don't know.
2 minutes.
I think it's man's cramping over here. You're going for quality or quantity or both over here, because this is.
Okay, so who out here has some ideas? And see how these questions were, you couldn't come up here, you could have got the questions going to get progressively more difficult. So the sooner you volunteer, the next round come up, the easier the play.
That's a terrible way to sell this. It's like the heart. The more we go, the less you're going to like this. So come on down. You gotta work on that, there, Bill. You gotta workshop that one. 3, 2, 1.
All right.
All right. Here we go. All right. Why don't you gentlemen, actually, we'll start one at a time. Billy, why don't you flip yours around? And then why don't you present? Let us know your thoughts on how you decide pricing for your golf course in 2026.
All right, yeah, I'm assuming even you guys in front row can't read any of that. So
I wasn't joking. You thought I was joking.
we just had to get it out. It works the best you can fast. So we're kind of in a unique spot. We have 4 golf courses, 4 9-hole golf courses, 1 executive, 1 par 3, 2 regulation, but 1 of them not really. It's par 34. You can ask me about it later. And 3 of those 4 courses are all new as of like in the last 4 years. So we've came in the door in the last few years, probably in the lower end of the spectrum, to start building up that base. So one thing for 26 is taking a look at, hey, these courses, top-notch, exceptional quality in the 9-hole space in the region, and we're raising rates because we're filled. Just simply that statement. Just the rates are going up, maybe $2, $3, $4, or $5. Youth focused. I'm going from the bottom, I guess. Youth focused, especially at our par 3 golf course. I don't know if anybody utilizes youth on course, but we did I think we did, the golf course itself only did about 15,000 rounds this year, par 3, new to the community. Of those 15, about 6,000 were youth golf rounds, which is pretty crazy. And we're gonna bank on that, play into that. It's such a great spot for the kids. So staying with that youth array, staying with that partnership, but focusing on lower rates, honestly, with that kind of space to help grow the game. Keep the kids playing, and in turn, then the parents come and they buy a beer and they buy some to eat, get a golf cart, clubs, and they come back 10, 12 times. They come take them to the events that we host. So kind of focusing on, that course in specific with the youth, trying to build the game, and the rest of the family will follow and they'll participate on the other things. So maybe it's not the greens fee that we're trying to grab, but looking at how can this lower rate get these kids in the door, bring the family in, and now they're all part of what we're going to do. And then kind of just on the simpler stuff, not switching it up because it's worked pretty well, but just looking, we offer a lot of resident, senior, and military, the basic stuff, weekday versus weekend pricing, dynamically pricing, probably looking at that on weekends, but kind of focusing more on just where can we get more money, not lowering the price, and just continuing to analyze that competition, within the 20-mile radius. I don't find like anything outside of 20 miles is probably not your true competitor, at least in our market. Rhode Island, if anybody's familiar, some people aren't. Really small. So 20 miles is that's a big deal. That's like a 30-minute drive. That's a lot of driving for Rhode Island. So. Yeah, pretty simple there, but I think kind of your biggest ones here, just focusing on the youth, and then higher rates at newer courses that just open just because of the quality and just happen in the market for a little bit.
Good stuff, good stuff. That was very exhaustive. In the future, but let's keep it a little bit tighter because we want to get as many in as possible. That was great though. Also, your handwriting here, my family doctor actually, it was a more legible restrictions than that, but that's it. Okay. Matt, what's going on?
So for 2026, 2025 was the first year we instituted dynamic pricing. But I started to realize from the season, calling it demand pricing is a lot better because we don't ever go lower. Our base rate is what it is, and we just go up from there depending on how the tee sheet fills up. Customers seem to have the golfers seem to have a better response to that. If they understand if it's busy, it's in high demand. We don't want to just set the price at $85. We let the market dictate it. We rolled it out only for the weekends. This year, we're actually changing Friday to a hybrid weekend day, and it's going to get demand priced as well. So a lot of younger millennials and Gen Zs are now having that ability to be able to work and change their schedules. So we're seeing a lot of younger demographics coming in, and they're willing to pay the price. So we're going to add that in. That's part of us catering to the younger golfers. I know that for a lot of years it's been, you need those seniors Monday through Friday to fill a tee sheet, and then the weekend is the younger guys. We're going away from that. We're trying to get the younger golfers in because they're the ones that are going to buy the extra beer. They're going to buy food afterwards. It's not what can I get for free or how quickly and how cheap can I get. So next year we're going to go Friday, and then setting up for 2027. We're actually going to go demand pricing Monday through Sunday, and we're going to be switching your senior discount to a percentage now, as opposed to a flat rate, so that we don't prime them for 2027 when that comes in. So they'll get used to understanding that it's a percentage, not just a flat rate. And then the last thing we're doing is we're actually limiting outings. We have a whole bunch of people constantly asking for them, and younger, weekend golfers, they actually, we make more money on not outing days, so that would be that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, it's voting time. So I'm gonna start here. Hands up if you think Matt is the winner. All right. Hands up if you think Bill is the winner. I think Matt has won the first round of Beat Del Flay. Thank you so much. Good stuff. All right. Now, where are you going? Where are you going? This is where the fun starts. And as I said at the top of the show here, now it's up to you, Matt, to decide what the question is that you're then going to pose some solutions for.
Now, before he does that, I have one question.
Please, yeah.
Just open this up. For those of you who were not here before we did this, this kind of replaced the idea fair 1 week. So we wanted to be kind of back and forth. I'm just curious on that last question here, because neither one of them said this. How many of you have actually used ChatGPT and deep research to do research on pricing in your market and see where you are? Raise your hand to see. So a lot of people.
So, what, 20% or it seems like?
Yeah, so I was just curious, that's something that I think that a lot of people are moving forward for, just so you can get so much detailed information on your competitive set. So, all right.
There we go. So this way we'll work it. If you don't have a question or a pain point, I got lots of them, so I can come up with something. So when it's your call, it should give you home field advantage.
Didn't think that far when I threw my hand. I guess one of our biggest pain points this season was increased costs across the board, basically labor, health insurance, that kind of stuff, really ate into profits on our food and beverage side.
Okay. So we're going to calculate that. How can you bring costs down across all sectors or aspects of your golf business? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Good with that? Yep. All right. Hey, Harry, can you do me a favor? Can you actually flip that over? Because Matt needs a new sheet. All right, and flip that around. So, okay, the question again is how can we decrease? Yes, turn that around. Yeah, there we go. Gotta keep it all seated. All right, so how can we reduce costs and overhead across the spectrum, of whatever ways we can do that? And you have 2 minutes starting now. While we do that, how many in the room here, is this your first time attending the Golf Business Conference? That's pretty good. All right, well, welcome. What we got? That was at least, I'd say about 15% of the room. There we go. How many of you have been here for every single one when it's been held here just before the PGA show? All right, so the same, about another 15, 20, 20%. There we go. All right. How many of you enjoy how cold it always is in January? You do. You're from Buffalo. Exactly. I'm from Toronto. I'm in Vancouver now. It's a lot lighter there. All right, we've got a minute and change here, gentlemen. So we go. Matt's left-handed like me, so I'm a fan. Like I'm a fan. Like I said, I was nice to this gentleman here by singing happy birthday, but that's over now. So we want Matt to crush you. But also when you're voting, if you really think Del won, it's like, vote for him. That sounds like a better showdown clock than I have. All right, we got 30 seconds here. These guys are taking this serious. All right.
Oh, he's done. It's in now.
He is, wow.
Didn't even need all.
He's got time to spare. He's got all of 16 seconds left. There we go. All right, they are under time. There we go. We press that down. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to let Matt present first. I'm going to change this around a little bit so we can compress this down. I'm going to put a 2-minute timer on your of how you present this also. All right. So again, 2 minutes here.
You're in trouble, Bell. This is good.
Hold on. I don't want to set for 99 minutes because that doesn't work. Okay, 2 minutes. Go, here you go.
Okay, so for our scheduling platform, we use 7 shifts. It was something that I inherited, and actually now in the last couple years, I've really started to dig in. I've seen that there's opportunities to do labor targets by day, so for expected revenue and that kind of thing that we can actually, I can give my department heads, here's the labor, you have to be with it. That's something I've already started trying to get them into and using, so that way they know how to be able to schedule and they have the freedom to be able to schedule however they need to during those times, as long as they meet their budget. One thing that I've been hearing a lot, even when I was at the Michigan Golf Course Association meeting, was using AI to help with efficiency, not necessarily replacing people, but helping take things off their plate so they can be more productive, which then should allow us to be able to schedule a little bit later, so non-peak times, and go from there. Also, I'm huge in trying to get our ownership group into tech, so if we get an automated range picker, it's going to be more of an upfront cost, but we don't have to worry about the labor and the kid that wants to be out there forever because it's an easy thing to do. And looking at other things like that. The other thing we're looking at is streamlining our weekday offerings. So as opposed to having a kitchen fully be open, doing more like a lot of cold grab and go, hot grab and go stuff at the turn. So that way we don't have to necessarily have 2 people scheduled, we can do it with 1. We're also looking at using the tech to try to drive sales, so that way, we're getting more money per labor hour as a whole. And then we actually started looking into the logistics of removing the bev carts and just having a snack shack, because the way our course is laid out, they would hit that twice, so they'd have 3 opportunities to buy alcohol or food or whatever. And as well as having 2 people out on the bev cart on a Saturday, now we're down to 1. And we should still also help increase the base of play.
You have 3 seconds at a time. All right, Mr. Flay.
So, you got me started on time there. So one of my first things was we're supporting NGCOA, the group buying program. I think you need to make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that you can do for group buying. You can save a lot of money. You got rebates, you got pricing discounts and everything. So that's one of our things we look through all of our vendors to make sure that we're getting the best price on stuff to keep costs down. A lot of my first comments here are on food and beverage. We always go through if we're seeing a problem in the food and beverage department, making sure their pricing is current and that it's accurate. With the way that prices are fluctuating, you really have to check this on every order that you have coming in, particularly with the pricing fluctuations we're seeing in meat and cost of goods. Portion control is another thing too. A lot of your staff, if you're not doing accurate portion control, your costs in food and beverage can really get out of hand, and you really don't know where that food is going or where your costs are going. We monitor everything that we possibly can. We put videos in. We put videos on the back door. We put videos on the front door. We put videos on the cash registers, everywhere anybody's handling cash and accounting for that, because we think that actually shrinkage is a kind word for what we all know goes out the door in somebody's pocket that wasn't supposed to. So we also watch that as well. We have competitively shopped everything. It doesn't matter what it is, from someone coming in to do a repair to equipment that you're purchasing, anything you do. We have competitive shopping that we do on all things. We don't just take the first price, no matter how long we've had a vendor in place or anything. We see wide variations, and a lot of times the quality is just as good. But if you competitively shop, you can always find somebody out there who will do something for less money than someone else, as long as you get the same quality on that. And then the other one that I've got on my list here is we constantly review our P&Ls against what our budget is. We do an extensive budget every year. We do the P&Ls monthly, and we go in and we see where are we really leaking, where are our labor costs out of bounds, where are our, maybe it's equipment repairs, where are those things out of bounds. We do a variance report on a monthly basis, and then we have staff meetings. As a matter of fact, that's a lot of our staff meetings today, where we do a monthly call with all of our teams. And those, we go through line by line to make sure that everything's in line with what it should be on the budget.
Here we go. Now, shrinkage. Wasn't that a George Costanza problem in the Seinfeld episode? Am I remembering that right? Am I aging myself here? Is that what you're referring to? I'm a shrinkage. Oh, that's different. Sorry, I got that. Okay. All right, moving on. It's got to be safe for work here because they are recording this. Voting time. I'm starting to get in the illustrious Matt. Who thinks Matt won this battle? Let's get some hands up here. Because you're standing over there. No, I'm not. You're Jackie. You're going to help to determine here. So I'm sorry. Hands again for Matt. Okay. All right, now hands up for Mr. Del Flay. I think Mr. Flay has won this round. There we go.
Lobby.
Match one.
You see this?
If I'm doing something different here, because now we need two more combatants here, but that's what I'm gonna do. Last time I didn't show you the question before, I have to show you the question this time. So here we go. Some people out there that are into the liability thing, and that's what they do here in the golf industry. So a golfer is injured while playing on your course and you are not there. What do you and or your staff do? All right, two of you, one, golf course owners, operators out there.
Volunteers come on up.
There we go. Oh, I was actually, I thought he was coming up, but he's actually leaving the room. Yeah. Oh, let's go. I'm gonna fix him. Have you ever been to a live auction before? You just actually bought them, but you didn't want the directions. I can, want to go over it again? So you've got 2 minutes to write down as many as bullet point 4, put your name at the top. I will give you 2 minutes. You know what, you're a star waiting to be born.
Oh, no.
Is there any?
You have no idea what you stepped in. For her to get this. Am I right? Sure.
There we go. Look, that's an opportunity. What is it? It's always what is it? Oh, it's a learning opportunity. It's like, yeah, I just failed it. No, it's a learning opportunity. So this is a learning opportunity. All right, get ready. 9 minutes. Here we go. And 2 minutes starting now. And while they are furiously scribbling down, I've got some more questions here for the audience. How many Canadians are in the audience here today? Let's see if I got a table there. Got 3 of them there. I guess I made 4, which you can probably tell with my accent. Okay, now question for all you guys, so you can laugh at us. What is the most ridiculous way that a Canadian pronounces a word or multiple words here? This is your chance to give it to us here. So what do you find the most adorable and ridiculous way that we pronounce a word? Organization. Was that funny the way I said that? No. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, what about dead instead of C?
I know. The British thing is like, even we if you look at the way we write center, it's like R-E, like what literally is that? Isn't that centre? Like it's basic English. It's like I don't know, but the Brits spell tire with a Y. It's like what's up with that?
Oh, no.
That's it out. There we go. We got that. You got another 30 seconds here. Oh, pens down.
Told you.
Well, keep writing. So man, this is not fair. There we go. Not yet. I like your countdown clock way better than mine. We've got another 10 seconds here. There we go. Are y'all done? Okay. 2 and 1. Okay. Well, since you feel you're going to get absolutely crushed, I'm going to allow you to go first. I do. All right, Brooks. I'll give you my microphone and give you 2 minutes.
I'm not gonna need it. The 0 is to call 911 if necessary first. That's rule number 1.
If you're airplane, you put the mask on yourself, not your child. That makes no sense to me, but they keep telling me to do it, so I'll try. The first thing, beyond calling 911 if necessary, is people come first, is to take a genuine interest in the person's well-being, not to start thinking too much about number 2B, 3, and my number got messed up. But to take a genuine interest in the person first, that's something that we talk about as much as possible. And then contact the manager, I will put right after that. So 911 if necessary, take a genuine interest first, and then contact your manager. Before they leave, this, medical stuff, all kind of bullshit that you all know, you're gonna get loved one contact information. So try to get contact information for obviously them. If it's not terrible, you can get it from them, but if it is bad or medium, obviously ask for a loved one next of kin, and then take relevant pictures. George was involved in a really scary, bad golf course accident where she got hit with a golf ball on her own golf course. She looks beautiful as ever. You would never know it if you didn't know the story. So get ready for your master class on how to handle it. And I'm gonna go sit down because my time is up.
Now, you don't know anywhere. Come on. Don't throw out the white towel like that. Come on. You never know. All right, Alice, give it a go.
Took a golf ball to the face, broke my eye socket, shattered my cheekbone. 8 facial reconstructive surgeries later. So anyway, my first thing is to cry about it. That's just roll. And then don't let your daughter be the one taking you to the hospital. She'll cry more. Okay, anyway. So you want to have safety training huddles. You should be doing it probably once a week, at least once a month. If you don't know what safety training huddles is, make ChatGPT write it for you. So absolutely, your outside staff should be doing that as well, because a lot of them make a lot of silly mistakes. So training people how to handle blood. I know Brooke said that people should know that already, but they don't. So I had a kid this last year, and he was wiping up blood with his hands. Put on some gloves. So make sure you are training them how to do the basics. When you do call 911, make sure that someone is out at the end of your driveway, because you live on a whole bunch of acres. Nobody knows how to get to wherever the emergency is. So make sure you're directing staff so that if the ER ambulance is needed, make sure they are taking you out. And then we have a form that we fill out. We got the form through our insurance. So if you don't have one, just ask your insurance person to get that form. And so that form has like what happened, who are the witnesses, document. You can't have enough documentation. And so that includes, pictures and who the person is, who's the injured person, who's the person that's responsible. And then you have to have a heart and make sure you call the next day and ask them how they're doing. Because being a human, we're all humans. So that pays for a lot. And let's see here, David said, and then verifying all that stuff, your program and everything you're doing with your insurance to make sure you are following along with your insurance.
13 seconds to spare.
All right, I'll just let this run down here for a second. All right, the voting shall start. Oh. You have no say in this. That's why I have the microphone right now. All right, hands up. Who thinks that roast one? There we go. All right. I feel we won't need our tiebreaker judges for this one. How many people think Allison won? There we go. Well, you call that one. There we go. Absolutely. All right, Allison, no, you're not going anywhere. All right, so Allison, as we did last round, now you are the one that gets to choose the question.
Oh.
The problem, the challenge, the pain point that either you want to resolve or you're already starting to resolve. So you get the upper hand here, just like last round with Matt, to try and dethrone this gentleman here. Here we go.
Man, this is challenging.
Well, I have questions if you don't have one, but I got the purpose used. I give you the advantage.
I want a question.
Okay, well, my background's in architecture and sustainable design, so I'm going to go the sustainability route. So my question is going to be, what have you done or are you doing to increase the environmental sustainability of your course, but at the same time, helps reduce the bottom line. So it's good for business and good for the environment.
No, reduce the bottom line.
I mean, well,
Reduce.
I said reduce the cost, reduce the cost. I think that's what I said. Well, that's what I meant anyway. Backwards sometimes. So once again, it's not just doing it for the good of the planet, but you're also doing it because this will reduce your costs, obviously increase your margins and your profits. So I will give you 2 minutes on this one, both of you, and go. So on this note, on ModGolf, we've been talking to a lot of people about golf courses, and of course, sadly, coastal degradation, and some courses are ready to fall into the ocean. That's an extreme case, but as far as the extreme weather that we're having, talking about making your course more climate resilient. How many here are doing things, don't want to know what they are doing things, or at least it's on your mind as something that's important for you with your golf course, that's on your mind as far as climate resilience or climate proofing your golf facility? There we go. So we got about a third of the people here. I think even 2 years ago it would have been next to zero. So it's going in the right direction. There we go. And I know all courses aren't created equal. That if you've got a part-time course or inland, you may think, we're not in an earthquake zone, we're not in tornadoes, that is not a problem. But extreme weather seems to be popping up everywhere. So I think sadly it's getting a little bit worse. It's better, but it sounds like not only the NGCOA, but other organizations also, and all of you realize the value of this, and you're looking the legacy generationally for your golf course, not what's going to happen in the next 2 years, but where you're going to be in 20 years or even 50 years. And a lot of you are thinking that way as a legacy, which I think is fantastic. 30 seconds more. Hands down. Oh, I see a little bit of sweat furrowing in the brow of Golf Linwicker. I think maybe he's a little concerned on this one. Still scribbling. 10 more seconds, go. All right, and I can't just let Harry just look there so fashionable in his apron. I'm gonna ask you, who should present first?
Let's make Del go first.
Del first. All right, flip it around, Del. You have the clock for 2 minutes and let us know what you have.
Okay, so I'm going to talk stuff here. I've been in for turf care management for a long time. We continue to get more products that can be environmentally friendly. We actually are using a lot of kind of environmentally friendly products for insecticide, for example. Even there's some interesting products out there right now for those that have nematode problems. We're using that. We have mowing practices that we have greatly altered. Our mowing practices are to make golf courses more playable and friendly, but at the same time increase more natural areas on the golf course. So we're reducing maintenance in some areas, but still making the golf courses more playable, trying to reduce the number of labor hours and equipment hours we're spending on the golf course. Use of recycle. We recycle clippings on the golf course. A lot of times, most of our courses are in the south. We've got Bermuda, so we can go out and we can take that Bermuda, we reuse it, and actually try to spring it in areas where the pipe is on the golf course. We extend this also to oils that we use within the maintenance facilities. We're taking our mowers and changing oils in our mowers. Also, even food waste, so oils in the fryers and things like that. Recycle it. We actually experimented some with taking the oils and trying to refine them into other products that we can use. That didn't go too well, so I wouldn't have that real high one. Power management. A lot of you may not know that power companies offer discounts. If you do a lot of your golf cart charging and off-peak hours, you can do some really creative things with your power company to reduce the loads during our high-peak periods. You can get very preferential pricing. We have actually decreased our power bills in some places by 60% by going to off-peak rates scheduled with the power companies. Most power companies, by the way, will come in and will actually evaluate your power bills for you and tell you what rate you need to be on in your power bill. Not all power companies offer this. That's very specific. Then the final one that I had is water quality management. Water is a big thing. We're very big consumers of water. We do regular testing on our water to make sure that the water quality is good. But we're also taking a lot of care looking at how we're managing into the pocket.
There we have it. All right. Alton, it's already flipped around. Go for it.
All right, here we go. You should have an irrigation audit. What that means is, maybe you have to run off on your greens or something like that, and so the water's not being used efficiently. So it might make sense for you to water your green for 8 minutes, and then 2 hours later, water that green for 8 minutes again. So you need to have some sort of irrigation audit to make sure that your irrigation is being used efficiently. You should be managing your water. If you have aerators on your ponds, you know, you need to be treating your ponds. You need to be looking at your ponds. We have a lot of runoff. I live in Iowa, so God love the farmers. So we go in, so sometimes like we don't have to put nitrogen down, for instance, because it's in our pond water. So make sure if you're not paying attention to what's in your water, make sure you're paying attention to what's in your water. We also dug out all our ponds. Silt is a bad thing, so I know it's $100,000, but all of us are making more money right now, and you got to pay more attention to your ponds. So we dug out all of our ponds and got rid of all of our silt. A huge difference on that. We have GPS on our sprayers. We also are making make sure that you're spraying efficiently, you know, using trackers or whatever that might be. And you also should be using like a growth regulator so that you're not, you know, you're mowing more efficiently, you're not over mowing. And then we use a ton of poultry compost. If you don't use poultry compost, it's magical. I don't understand why it works so well, but it's a lot less expensive. It's good for the environment. And you sound like a rock star when you say that you're not putting down a chemical. It's something that's turkey made. You should be going in and planting native grasses. We actually got rid of all of our sand traps because sand traps are terrible for water runoff. So you should be paying attention to, you know, if you have some sand traps that don't have good drainage or anything like that. There's a lot of little areas. A whole bunch of little things make a giant difference. Let's see here, and then you need to be using satellites with your rain gauges. So make sure you're not irrigating on the same night that you got 3 inches of rain. So all those things are important.
5 seconds to spare. There it is, there's the timer. All right, it's voting time, folks. So I'm gonna start this time with Allison. Who thinks Allison won this round? All right, since I'm not cheering for Del Flay, I want to see the hands. Who thinks Del Flay won? Oh, Allison crushed. Congratulations, Allison. Well done. Everything. Liability. Turkey move, the whole thing. Okay, I know we're with the time. We probably don't have time to fit in one more round, so we're gonna do a bit of a lightning round instead of 2 minutes for each. We're gonna reduce it to 1 minute. So that means I need 2 contestants super fast. So our question is, you raise prices at your golf course. Golf complains loudly about the increase in front of other golfers. That's rude. In the pro shop, what do you do to mitigate this? So who wants to play this lightning round? I need 2 combatants. Here, Brooks, you put your hand up again. You're gonna bring it. Keep those hands down.
Are we swiveling? Or are we?
We're gonna slow, yeah, to rotate it back again. So, oh, I love it. There we go. I like the way you said that so emphatically. It's so good.
I'll be nice to you.
Appreciate that. Good stuff. So we need 1 more. Oh, of course. Anyone want to come and compete here on this question here? I'm going to choose somebody. I may choose a Canadian. There are no ducking down the tables I see here. Actually, I believe you made eye contact. I'm going to choose Mr. James Crock. Come on up here, bud. There we go. You didn't slouch down low enough there to get out of the way. There we go. So quickly, but before we start, want to introduce yourself?
My name is Michael Huber. I run Heritage Bluffs Golf Club for the Showdown District just outside Chicago.
Thank you, Mike. Excellent. And Mr. Crock, want to introduce yourself?
People know you already from last.
Yeah, today I'm Dr. Crom for those of you that came to my session. So I'm a doctor today. So if I can't solve this problem, I'll solve it. Later on.
As I said, lightning round, 1 minute and go. your name down there, like, that's not gonna cut it. It's just not. And James, you can write that in Canadian too, but you'll have to translate it afterwards. Still 30 seconds left, gentlemen. All right, the tension is palpable. So Del Flay, how do you feel to get your butt kicked there? She kind of handed it to you there. You're gonna redeem yourself here?
Well, I wasn't sure about the turkey food.
Well, that could have been the decider here. All right, here we go. We got a little bit of time. Why don't I get the mic to the mic? The mic to the mic. Let's have it. Okay, here we go.
So my first step is going to be remove that customer from the area in a polite way. Have them talk with me. I want them to speak and I'm gonna listen. I wanna really listen and be attentive. So they know that I care about the problem they're presenting. And then I'm gonna work to resolve the issue with the customer so they leave happy. And then probably try to find those other folks and apologize for that customer's behavior. Here we go.
Short and sharp, like that Dr. Frog. So you.
First of all, I'm gonna tell my mom to go play somewhere else. That's number one. And then, like Michael, I'm gonna take them aside, obviously, and try to have a conversation. Ask them all the why, ask them what they're concerns about, ask them what they like. To make sure I have my data, make sure I have my stats about what our prices are, what our high rates are, what our low rates are, what my competition's doing. Have a better understanding about where they see value or don't see value in our platform. I'm certainly going to stick to my guns and not going to cave, but I'm going to certainly offer them options. If I have options about when I'd like to come back next time, depending on how the conversation goes, I might turn them into a champion, and I'm going to try to do it in front of the group that's in front of me. So if there's an opportunity to make sure that I have a chance to communicate with the group that's with me, I'm going to try to do that. But once again, I'm going to tell my mom to go play somewhere else.
And that's time. There we go. Thank you, Dr. Frog. All right, quick vote, show of hands here. Dr. Frog, who do you think won on this round? Ooh, maybe a close one. All right, and with Michael, what do you think? Michael, my take is Dr. Frog. Am I right there? What do you feel here? I think you kind of. There. Well, that's okay. I was taught by a professor first year in architecture school. He said the good ones borrow and the great ones steal. Love that. It sounds like plagiarism, but that's what he said. Here we go. Okay. Now we have the lightning round. Now it's up to you, sir. You get to choose the question to go head to head against Del Flay.
Wow.
Or should I bring up the next question?
Yeah, you bring it up.
Oh,
You bring it up.
right.
I don't want to cheat.
Okay, this is what we had before. He gets a little bit of advantage. He already knows this one, if you're okay with that. And here we go. Okay, you need to hire a mechanic. Oh, thank you. You need to hire a mechanic for your golf course. What ways will you use to find and hire for this position? I'm only giving you 1 minute here, gentlemen, so I think we're pretty close to time, right? Okay, so we'll go 1 minute and go. How many of you beforehand knew that I was going to be picking on you in the audience? You thought this was going to be a completely passive experience that you're going to fall asleep for an hour? Did most of you think you're not going to be cajoled or shamed into participating? Oh well, jokes on you. They're looking pretty done. There's some fancy squiggles at the end there. All right, you're done. Okay, 5 seconds, but we're good. Okay. this case, we're turning them both around here. Harry, who do you think should go first?
Oh, let's go James first.
All right, Dr. Cron.
Okay, thank you. If I win, I don't want the Beat Del Flay. I want a bottle of 7 jars bourbon for my wife. First of all, let's be clear about that. All right, well, first of all, I gotta know the competitive rates in the marketplace for mechanic, and all the details obviously around what's going on in the marketplace. I need to have clarity around my employee value proposition, which is about understanding that I can communicate to future people about why they should come work for me. What do we provide, what our benefits are, what are our values, what we care about, what kind of people are gonna work with, what kind of fun they're gonna have, and the reasons why we have an attractive job. Secondly, to make sure that I have some kind of a roadmap that I can clarity for a mechanic. If they want to be a future superintendent, they want to be a head mechanic, if they want to, we're looking for a junior position, what is their roadmap if they come work for me? What are the different types of skills they're going to learn, the different type of talents they're going to learn, the kind of training we're going to give them, the kind of person they're going to work under that's going to help them with their career, whether it's with us or with somebody else. We're going to make sure that we're clear about what our culture is. We're going to have stories and videos and Instagram posts talking about what it's a great place to work, what it's like to be a mechanic working in our facility, what the day looks like, the various benefits we have, including golf training, free golf lessons for all of our staff. We're going to have a messaging sales strategy that we're going to go to market with, just like we're attracting a customer, we're trying to attract an employee. And so we're going to have a strategy, whether it's social media, whether it's talking to people in the community, whether it's going to technical schools. We're going to have a story about why coming to us to be a mechanic is going to be successful. And then we're going to have a clear messaging about why coming to work for us is going to help them and close.
There we go. Well done, well done. Jamie yesterday this morning said he was talking about 1.25, it was like 1.75. Well done, you cracked it all in there.
And I took the Canadian out.
Well done, well done.
So, I'm gonna do mine real quick for 1 minute. I'm gonna use ChatGPT to do all the stuff that they just said. And so we started doing this, we are in the competitive market for labor. You have to understand what the competitive set is out there, everything from defining what that role is, what other opportunities exist for mechanics in the community. And so we use ChatGPT a lot for that. And it will actually develop the whole strategy for how we're going out to the marketplace. Then when we do that, we use all the resources that we possibly have to post that. And literally a lot of times I'm taking out, we'll tweak what ChatGPT gives us, but I will tell you, I would say 90 to 95% of what it produces is what we can put out and draw postings out there. It's been very effective for us. When I say use all resources, I'm talking about our own website, our own social media pages, our own community. We're finding out that a lot of social apps are ways that you can actually attract, and surprising some of them. We've actually gotten mechanics from Nextdoor. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Nextdoor. We post job positions on Nextdoor, and they come in. And then once they come in and those candidates do it, we put them through a sales process. We really look at this like we are selling them on what that role is, what the role is with our company, our culture, what their future is going to be, what we're trying to do to fulfill what they do.
That's fine. I thought we heard that. Sorry to cut you off there, but
No, I do it either with it.
I know. Okay, so here we go. So it's voting time. So we're going to start with Dr. Croft. Who thinks Dr. Croft won this round? All right. And who thinks that Del Flay won this round? Ooh, it's tight.
I think it's a coin toss.
I think we need to. By the way, it's like having to kick the field goal here with 2 seconds left on the clock here. We're going to call in our tiebreaker judges, our 3 of them. And it's just by a show of hands. Can our 3 tiebreaker judges please stand up just to make sure I embarrass you just enough here?
Can I just ask a question?
You may.
Dell is one of our clients, so if losing means that I'm going to keep the business, I'm happy to give up this competition. I just want to say, Mr. Ratcliffe, if there's anything that I can do to make sure that you win this competition, so.
We've won that story there, James. All right.
You got through me.
I didn't realize that we could have a serious here with this, but all right. So once again, can our 3 tiebreaker judges please stand up? There we go. 1, 2, 3. And I want to show of hands here. This should be pretty simple here because it's an odd number. Who thinks that Del Flay won? 2-1, there we go. So James paid up the top of the judges. So that is it. Thank you very much for participating and sharing the experience. It's a lot of fun. And I believe now we've got the sponsor fair and some cocktail hour. I think
46:15 in the bar.
there we go. Let's do it.